Hey everyone, I'm doing this really weird thing where I have my laptop in front of me, I have my phone in front of me, and I'm trying to go live in several places at one time because I need to do a better job of going live on Instagram. I'm super comfortable with Facebook. And so I have my phone set up and I think I'm streaming live on Instagram. Yay! And then I'm streaming live, I think, in my free Facebook group and also on my personal page. So I want to talk to you all today about goal setting and about 2021 and how we really can create a vision for our life. And what I mean by that is, like, we have to take responsibility for the life that we create, because otherwise life just happens to us on default, you know? So it's like, you know, you can't say, hey, I have this goal of, I want to lose more weight in the new year, so I'm going to slap a picture of the body that I want on a vision board and I'm going to hope that that just miraculously comes to me, right? No, you have to be involved in the process. And that's one of the things that I teach, is not just how to make a vision board, but how do you actually create a clear vision for what you want to achieve in the new year? And then what are the action steps and the mindset steps, the things that have to happen in the background so that those things can actually begin to come into fruition in your life. And so for those of you that don't know, because I'm going to be talking about this idea of the law of attraction, I'm going to be talking about how our thoughts create our reality. And what I mean by that is, you know, on average, the average human being has about 70,000 thoughts in a day's time. And what we don't realize is that a huge number of those thoughts are unconscious, right? They're happening in the background of our mind and we're not even aware of it. We also know that 80%, for the average human being, 80% of your thoughts that you have in a day are negative. So if you're an average human being, which most of us are, then 80% of those thoughts are negative, which means that most of us are having about 56,000 thoughts a day. Now, what I know from my 15 years worth of study on how can we really create a life that feels good to us, how can we not just put images on a vision board and hope they come to fruition, how we can actually be part of the co-creator process and be involved in raising our energy, raising our vibrational level, putting a vision out there and actually attaining it. Because what we also know is that your thoughts create your beliefs, okay? So whatever you're thinking about, either sometimes you don't even know you're having those thoughts, but whatever's running in the background of your mind is always really playing out in your life. It becomes a blueprint for your life. So it becomes a belief system that you hold about yourself. Just last night, I enrolled someone in my 90-day coaching program, and she holds a belief system inside of her. It's her inner critic that constantly says, hey, I have this idea. I want this dream business, or I want to write this book. I want to get these things going. But there's something that always says, like, you're just not good enough. Like, somebody else can do it. Kim Strobel can do it, but I can't do it. And so what we know is that there's a ton of unconscious thoughts that are happening in the background of her mind. And those are beliefs. And those beliefs, they drive our action. So whatever you believe about yourself is constantly driving your action. This is why people say your thoughts create your reality, right? So whatever you're thinking about most of the time, that's really what is coming into your life. And so what I want to talk to you about is, how do we create a vision for our life? And then how do we do the mindset work behind the vision so that we can be a co-creator in this process? And that's exactly why I'm doing the Law of Attraction Vision Board Workshop December 30th. I'm running a 90-minute workshop where I'm going to teach all of this. I'm going to teach you how to create massive momentum for 2021. I'm going to teach you what the law of attraction is and how to start to engage in it. I'm going to teach you how to make a vision board that actually works, and I'm going to teach you my 5 steps for manifesting. And if you're interested in that, just go to my bio. If you're watching on Instagram, you can go to my bio, my link tree, you'll see it. But this is a time, it's December 10th. So many of us enter this reflection mode right now. We're looking at the past year. We're seeing what worked, what didn't work, what we were surprised by. And it's really, many of us kind of look back and we think, okay, what's going well for me? What could I have done better? What do I want to focus on next year? Or we are like, none of the crap that I wanted to happen this year happened, or because of COVID or whatever, everything got completely derailed. And so, what we know is that so many of us, right, we give up too quickly on our dreams, or we say, well, I didn't manifest this. This didn't happen. I made this goal and it didn't happen. So I'm going to give up. And what we know is that, there's divine timing for all of this. And my phone keeps trying to die. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm hoping that you can still see me, even though I keep having to jump around. Or we beat ourselves up, right? We say, hey, I screwed up this year. I'm going to do better next year. I'm really going to stick to my goals. Or I'm going to have more willpower. Let me just tell you, willpower has like 5% to do with it. Okay. It's not your willpower that's the problem. It's not you that's the problem. It's that you're not taking the time to identify what you really want in your life. And then you're not doing the back end, the mindset work to make sure that it happens. And so I love this time of year because to me, this is excitement, right? We are heading into a new year where many of us are reflecting. And if you're like me, I do my work every year on this. I'm writing out like, here's everything that, I really worked on accomplishing this year. Here's the things that went well. Here's what didn't went well. Here's where I had to learn to pivot. Here's the new set of skills that I gained because of it. And so all of us kind of come in, or many of us do, with this like energy for the new year. And we start to feel excitement and all of those things. But what we need to realize is, and again, I don't know why my phone keeps kind of going down. So I hope on Instagram, I'm not like blanking out every few seconds. But what I know is it's not enough to just think it in your head. It's not enough just to say like, I really wish I would lose weight in the new year, or I really wish I would start to make money in the new year, or I really wish I would get better finances, or I really wish my marriage would get stronger. It's not enough just to say those things. What we actually have to do is we have to do like the mindset work. And 95% of the mindset work actually comes from the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is kind of that video reel that's kind of running in the background at all times that you're not even consciously aware of, but that is helping you to attain your goals. And so, we have to ask ourselves, like, what is it that I want to achieve? Or how much freedom do I want to create in my life? Or what do I want to feel more of in my life? And we start to think, like, what are those things? And then what are the action steps behind really being able to make those things happen? And so you guys know I'm obsessed with vision boards. I've been doing them for 15 or 20 years. But I haven't just been doing the vision board as in putting the picture on the board. I have done the mindset work behind it. I always tell people all the time, some people are like, how did you launch your business? How did you like have the courage in 2016 to launch your business? And not only that, but you weren't really like well known. So how did you become like a nationally recognized speaker within 2 years? Because like usually it takes people a decade to do that. Well, I will tell you how I did it. Most of you know I'm a runner. And so I run about 35 or 40 miles a week. And for the 3 years before I launched my business, when I took my runs, I saw myself standing on the stage. I saw myself positively influencing the people in the crowd. I saw future clients. I saw future schools. I saw future conferences. I visualized all of it in my head first and foremost, but then I lived it as if it was already happening and coming to me. So there is a process behind how you do this. How can you kind of get control of like that monkey chatter, that inner critic, those negative thoughts that are constantly running in the background that are completely sabotaging you from being able to actually create what you want in your life. And when I was first doing this, you guys, I mean, I made a ton of mistakes. I was doing it all wrong, or I was ticked off because, I had placed some kind of vision on my vision board, and 9 months later, it still hadn't come to me. And so I'm like, well, none of this crap is working. And we have to learn how to honor the process, but we have to be engaged in the process. And that's exactly what I teach. It's what I'm going to teach in this 90-minute workshop. I'm going to really help you get super clear on what is the vision that you want to create for 2021. And not only that, but like, what goals and feelings do you want to feel in 2021? And how can you set yourself up so that you can actually achieve those things for the next 12 months? And so let me just talk to you a little bit about that process, because, one of the things that I think doesn't work is, here's what most of us do, right? Some of us don't even do that. Some of us just say, oh, I have this goal in my mind, but we never write the goal down. Friends, you have to write the goal down. You have to put pen to paper, all right? And then you write a goal down and you bust your butt and you work really hard and you think none of this is working. It's not coming to fruition. There's no magic. None of this crap works. Well, what I'm here to tell you is that it's more than just like, having the thought in your mind, putting the thought down on paper, and then just busting your butt. Because the thing is, if you don't work on the inside of you, if you don't get the inside of you aligned, then you're not going to be able to manifest or co-create whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve in your life. For example, it's just easy to do numbers, and so I'm just going to throw numbers out there. So if I say, I want $1 million business this year, that's my goal. I'm going to put that on my vision board. I'm going to make $1 million. And the most I've ever made, let's pretend, is $100,000. Well, I'm not really going to believe that, right? I'm not going to believe that I can go from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year. Like, that's not very believable. Or if you're somebody who says, I'm going to, I don't exercise at all now, so I'm going to make this really big goal. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to exercise 6 days a week. Like, if there's a part of you that doesn't believe your goal, it's not going to happen, no matter how many times you slap it on your vision board. What you have to do is align the inside of yourself, work on the old thoughts, the old stories that you tell yourself, all of the negative thoughts, the inner critic thoughts, the part that's constantly running in the background saying, you don't have what it takes. You've never done this before, so why would you now? And if you don't get the inside of you aligned, you're not going to be able to create what's on the outside. And so you have to really create a blueprint for your success, which has so much to do, folks, with really being able to get a hold of your thoughts. Again, I'm not saying that it can't happen. If years ago I drove, a $2,000 car around, I loved that car because it was completely paid for. And, I remember even at the time I had placed on my vision board like a Lexus SUV, right? And sometimes the manifestation process works like that. Like literally 3 years later, I had the SUV. I was driving it. It was paid for. But so much of the time we put these like outlandish things, these goals, which I'm all about making big, gaudy goals. I have big goals in my life, but we also have to remember that if you're not going to do the work on the inside, if you're not going to change the belief systems that you're holding, then those belief systems are driving absolutely everything else you're doing. And so in the 90-minute workshop that I'm giving on December 30th, and we're going to record it. So some of you who are watching this, I know you've already registered for it. It's called Create Massive Momentum in 2021. But if you've already registered for it, great. If you haven't, and you're like, but I don't know if I'm going to be around December 30th at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, we are going to send you the recorded version. Of course, I would love to have you there live because that's where I'm going to coach you all through this process, but we will have the recorded version. So some of you are going to kind of do it on your own. But it's really about how do you get really super clear on what you want to achieve for 2021. And then not only that, but what is the mindset work that has to happen in order for you to actually be able to start taking the steps to get in universal alignment with that kind of energy. And so, there's a lot to this. There's a lot going on, even in the subconscious mind, that we have to kind of dig into and figure out, hey, how do I replace those thoughts of disbelief, because I can't put on there, I couldn't put on my vision board, you know, back in 2016, which I have it there. I mean, I have my vision board right here. I couldn't have put on there, like, I want to become a motivational speaker, and then constantly head on to the belief that, like, I can't do that. I don't have that in me. That's for somebody else. I had to adopt the belief. I had to do the work on the inside of myself first before I could make that come into my life, because your thoughts are going to drive the beliefs that you hold about yourself. And the beliefs that you hold about yourself are going to drive the actions that you do or do not take. And the actions that you do or do not take, those become the habits that you have. And those habits become your reality. This is why Carol Dweck, who is the growth mindset expert, her most powerful quote that she says that I love is, the view that you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. The view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. So if you are someone who, you know, wants to lose weight, but you're never going to hold the belief that you're somebody who weighs less, then that's probably not going to be something you're going to be able to accomplish. If you're someone who, you know, says, I want to earn more money, or I want more abundance in my life, but you're constantly complaining and griping about the bills that are coming your way, what you need to know is you're sending that energy of the lack of way more than you're looking around you and looking for abundance. And so whatever you're focused on the most, that's what you're going to get more of in life. That's just how the universe works. All right. Now I'm going to be popping in here daily, and I'm going to go a little bit further with all of you on this. But the bottom line is, it's not enough to just think in your mind, hey, it's a new year. You know, I'm going to make all these goals, which is another problem. We make like too many damn goals, right? You should make like 3 to 5 goals or whatever. But, you know, we make too many goals and then we lose track of them. We don't even realize what they were. And we certainly aren't doing the action to back up the goal. You cannot just have the desire, folks. You cannot just have the desire to be a happier person. You cannot just have the desire to create a better life for yourself. You cannot just have the desire to create a marriage that feels really good. It's not enough to have the desire. When I'm on a stage talking to thousands of people and I'm like, hey, how many of you, how many of you want to feel 40% happier every day? And everybody raises their hand. Or I say, hey, how many of you want not just like an okay relationship with your partner, but like you want an exceptional relationship with your partner? And everybody raises their hand, right? But then I'm like, so how many of you are actually taking action in your life on a daily basis to make that happen? Because it's not enough to just have the desire. You cannot have the desire unless the desire is backed by action. And the action is going to come from the inside work that you've done on your mindset, right? So we have to align what we feel at the core of our being with those things that we most want. And when we can get that energetic vibration in alignment, that's like when the universe opens up to us. That's when all of a sudden, the magic starts to happen. And so I'm super passionate about this topic. I have studied this topic for the last 20 years, and it has changed my life. And that's why I'm so excited to take people through the workshop we're going to host on December 30th, because I can't wait to teach you how to do this so that we can actually create what your goals are going to be for the next 12 months. But not only that, we're going to give you the strategies, the mindset work behind the goals, so you can actually start to achieve whatever level of success that you're wanting to achieve in your life. So that's my Fast and Furious. This is my first time ever going live, both on my laptop, which is right here in front of me, in Facebook, YouTube, all of that. And then I'm live up here on Instagram. So hope that was helpful. I'm going to jump back in. I'm going to teach a little bit more about this in the coming days. If you're interested in the workshop, it's like $97 for the next 10 days, and then the price goes up. I think $97 to have me guide you through your process of creating that massive momentum for you in 2021. Like if you're dedicated to it and you want to learn more about it, just click on that link and we'll get you signed up. I'm super excited. Like, this topic just fires me up, because I really feel like so much of the time what we do is we say, I just have bad luck, or the circumstances just aren't right, or I just wasn't born with that set of skills, or I just don't have that talent, or I don't have that ability to create that in my life. Somebody else has it, but I don't. And what we actually know is you do have the power. Like most human beings, Sean Aker says most human beings are using 10% of their potential, folks. 10%, which means 90% is up for grabs. 90% of your potential is unknown to you until you're willing to stretch yourself and do the work inside of yourself, inside of your mindset, so that you can actually start to see those results in your life. Okay, I did it. 20 minutes. All right, thanks all.